Let us discuss Fourier series expansion for the function f of x equals x minus x square for x belonging to the interval closed interval minus pi to pi. We have the general interval given by c, c plus 2l. Therefore, here we have c equals minus pi and c plus 2l equals pi, from which we will get l equals pi. Therefore, we have f of x equals a naught by 2 plus summation n ranges from 1 to infinity a n cos n x plus b n sin n x as the Fourier series expansion, replacing L by pi in the general Fourier series expansion. F of x equals a naught by 2 plus summation n ranges from 1 to infinity a n cos pi n x by L plus b n sin pi n x by L. We have a naught equals 1 by pi integral minus pi to pi f of x dx as the general formula to find out a naught, and by usual integration giving f of x equals x minus x square, we will get a naught equals minus 2 pi square divided by 3. We have the general formula to evaluate a n as 1 by pi integral minus pi to pi x minus x square multiplied to cos n x dx. We can use integration by parts here. In this procedure, we will write the first function x minus x square as it is, and we will integrate second function cos n x with respect to x, which will give us sin n x divided by n. Now, we will differentiate this function with respect to x, which will give us 1 minus 2x. We will integrate this function again with respect to x, which will give us 1 by n into integral sin n x, which will give minus cos n x divided by n square. Here we have to make use of negative sign. In the next step, we will use positive sign. That is, throughout the procedure of integration by parts, we will be using alternate signs. Now we will differentiate 1 minus 2x with respect to x, which will give us minus 2. We will again integrate this complete function with respect to x, which will give us minus 1 by n square integral cos n x, which is minus sin n x divided by n cube. Now when you try to differentiate first function minus 2, it will become 0, and in this position, you can terminate the process of integration by parts. That is, integration by parts procedure continues till first function when differentiated becomes 0. Now you can give upper and lower limits. Notice that these two terms will become 0 on application of upper and lower limits, because sin n pi as well as sin minus n pi will become 0. We have minus into minus becoming positive, and only this term will give us non-zero answers. In this term, 1 by n square as well as 1 by pi are constants, and we have, when you give upper limit pi, we will obtain the term 1 minus 2 pi multiplied to cos n pi. When you give the lower limit, you will get 1 plus 2 pi multiplied to cos n pi. Here, on simplification, we will get 1 by pi n square multiplied to minus 1 the whole raised to n. In the numerator, we will have minus 2 pi becoming minus 4 pi. Pi and pi get cancelled, and we have a n equals minus 4 multiplied to minus 1 the whole raised to n divided by n square. If you consider this minus 1 multiplied along with minus 1 the whole raised to n, you can even rewrite a n as 4 multiplied to minus 1 the whole raised to n plus 1 divided by n square. Here we have used the fact that cos n pi equals minus 1 the whole raised to n, and cos n pi can be taken common from these two terms. Using the general formula to evaluate Bn, we have Bn equals 1 by pi integral minus pi to pi x minus x square sin n x dx. We will use integration by parts here. First function x minus x square is written as it is. Second function sin n x is integrated with respect to x, which will give minus cos n x divided by n. In the second step, we will make use of minus sign. We will now differentiate x minus x square with respect to x, which will give us 1 minus 2x. We will integrate minus cos n x divided by n, which will give minus sin n x divided by n square. In the next step, we will use positive sign. Derivative of 1 minus 2x with respect to x is minus 2. Integral minus sin n x divided by n square is cos n x divided by n cube. On application of upper and lower limits, we will obtain Bn equals minus 2 multiplied to minus 1 the whole raised to n divided by n, which can also be written as 2 by n multiplied to minus 1 the whole raised to n plus 1. We have Fourier series expansion for f of x given by f of x equals x minus x square equals minus pi square divided by 3 plus summation n ranges from 1 to infinity 4 minus 1 the whole raised to n plus 1 divided by n square cos n x plus 2 multiplied to minus 1 the whole raised to n plus 1 divided by n into sin n x. When you give particular values for n ranging from 1, 2, 3, etc., You will get the Fourier series expansion like this involving both sine series as well as cosine series. Since we are asked to prove this result, whose LHS is such that each term has its denominator, which is a square number, and each of these terms have 1 as common numerator. In this general Fourier series expansion, notice that all cosine terms are having square numbers as denominators. Therefore, if you give x equals 0, you have cos x equals 1, cos 2x equals 1, cos 3x equals 1, etc. Similarly, at x equals 0, we have sin x equals 0, sin 2x equals 0, sin 3x equals 0, etc. When you give x equals 0, we have f of x equals x minus x square becomes 0. Also, in the RHS, we have all these cosine terms will become 1 and all sine terms will disappear.